Welcome back to another video on Arsenal football, and this is the big one: Barcelona versus Manchester United Europa League preview. Who would have thought Barcelona would be in this competition? But yes, we do face them tomorrow. What looks like it to be a very big game. But yeah, I'm not joined by myself. I do have guests with me. First of all, you guys should know him, Hardeep. How are you, Hardeep?
Yes, that's all right. How's the community doing today? I mean, what great feeling to face Barcelona, even though it's not a competitive Champions League fixture. Despite us both being in the Europa League, I think it will be in a really intriguing game. So look forward to the stream as always, guys.
Big up Hardeep. And got the main United fan, Traps. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think Traps has a lot to say about obviously the title thing, title race, and etc. But yeah, man. I mean, Traps said it before, and I did as well. Like I backed. I said United can do this, but one game at a time, as Tanok says. But we do have Flair with us. How you doing, Flair?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. How about you?
Not bad, man. Right, who would have thought? Obviously, United and Barcelona to face each other, man. Who would have thought? But yeah, man. At least Traps, you can't mock me because Frank De Jong, he's gonna finally be playing at Old Trafford soon.
Yeah, listen, I'd like to apologise. I'd like to apologise to Arrest because he was right. Frankie De Jong will be coming to Man United. Yeah, just not in a United shirt. Yeah, that was the bit we didn't let him finish, so we didn't understand what he was saying, but we understand now.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, obviously Barcelona versus Manchester United. Big game. Hardeep, I want to go over to you first. What are your thoughts? Are you nervous? Are you confident? Mixed emotions? What are you saying?
You know what? I'm actually really optimistic that we can get a positive result. Although with Barcelona currently, they're 16 games unbeaten in all competitions and haven't lost since around about December time, I believe. And I think certainly with Xavi in charge, they've certainly developed into an excellent technical side. With De Jong being in the main reduced in midfield instead of Sergio Busquets, who's fortunately in decline, I think they've got excellent talent alongside with Gavi and Pedri. Robin Lewandowski, he has contributed to over 23 goal contributions this season. Rafinha, he was actually apparently close to join he was actually apparently close to join Arsenal, but instead he joined Barcelona. He's doing exceptionally well. Ferran Torres, their back line is very solid as well. Ter Stegen. They're overall got great quality, and if we can get a really positive result, I think no doubt we can get a great result at Old Trafford. So I think I'm really confident that we could get something. Although you never know if with United though.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Traps. What are you feeling for tomorrow? Are you confident?
I don't really have a feeling about tomorrow because, as you know, I got my eye on something else. But yeah, I don't see. I mean, like I said, I just put I just done an episode on my channel, and I said let's look all these unbeaten in 16 games and whatever, bruv. There's a simple. It doesn't mean anything because what are they doing in Europa League in the first place? Yeah, they're in the Europa League because they weren't competitive enough in the Champions League. We're here for a different reason, but we're not going to go into that. But at the end of the day, I think it's a 50-50. They can go either way. And like I said, if Rashford shows up, Casemiro, these guys, I don't see us not being able to maybe sneak a 1-0, even a draw, anything like that. Just take back home because our home form is good. And obviously there's no away goals and there's no nothing. So yeah, I mean, Ten Hag might have a plan. He might decide that he might want to play for a draw and then take it back to Old Trafford and try and get a win that way. But we'll have to see, man. Rashford's on fire, so hopefully he turns up over there and makes a name for himself.
You know what? Before I get on to that, I've seen a lot of Barcelona fans getting confident about. Obviously, to be fair, Araujo, the centre back, he's playing superb, but they're saying that Araujo's going to pocket Rashford, stuff like that. So Barcelona fans are already saying that and being confident. So rightfully so. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but obviously Araujo, they look like they sort of solidified their back four, to be fair. But however, I think the left back. I think they're going to
play Balde.
Yeah, Balde. Yeah. So left back, we can easily target the left back, but yeah, I mean, Flair, what do you think? about the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it'll be like a pretty even game, to be honest with you. Two good sides at the moment. Barcelona, they've got some threat going forward. Lewandowski and stuff like that. I think I do think Man United will struggle defensively in some aspects, but I personally I think that Manchester United can win. They've got an excellent side at the moment. Hate to say it, Rashford is on fire. I reckon Rashford will bag a goal in today or two. So yeah, I think Barcelona, they've got to look out because they've got a very good side that they're facing tomorrow. So yeah, I think it'll be a good contest.
Yeah. So, guys, I've actually got a question for all the panel over here. So, with regard to Barcelona, who do you think is their dangerous player, in your opinion? So, Simon Traps. In your opinion, who's Barcelona's best midfielder? I mean, who's their best player?
Frank
Apologies.
de Jong.
I would probably say well, there's a few though. To be fair, I mean Lewandowski. Obviously, everyone knows what his capabilities are. On his day, he can destroy teams on his own. But I mean, I'm not going to write him off. He's getting a bit old, but I'm not going to write him off. And he had a pretty decent season, to be fair. So he'd probably be the man that you'd be thinking about. You're thinking about him coming, him turning up. You obviously got Garvey, you got Pedri. These lot need space to do what they need to do. But as long as the job's not too big for someone like Casemiro. You know what I mean? He's been to the new camp numerous times. He knows how it goes over there. I mean, Barcelona, they're not at the level that they used to be, but they're still a good side. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I just think that as long as United stick to their game, and just hit them on the counter, to be honest, because our counter attack is devastating. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd go with Lewandowski, to be honest with you, but yeah, I think Lewandowski would be the danger man. If he shows up, could be a long night.
That's agree. Always, how about yourself?
To be fair, I think it's midfield, obviously, with Pedri and Gavi, like, we've been playing incredibly well for Barcelona. So we have to so we've got a Casemiro, but Casemiro does playing against Barcelona, so it will be nice to see how Casemiro does, but we just need to keep the midfield silent. Obviously, Frank Kessie, I think he's going to start. So I think seeing quite a few Barcelona fans say that if we press them well, then I think Kessie might do a mistake. So we have to do well with our pressing tomorrow. But I just think we keep the midfield quiet and obviously the attacker Lewandowski, the main target, and then we should be fine, man. But we need to be on our jobs. I'm not worried about how we're going to handle it defensively because I think it will probably be Varane and Luke Shaw together. So for me, just keep Lewandowski quiet and keep the midfield quiet.
Absolutely. Flair, as neutral, who do you think Barcelona's best player is?
Well, they've got some good players, especially at the back. You got Jules Koundé, very very talented. Ousmane Dembele, he's all right. I wouldn't say he's great, but he'll cause some threat when it comes to like speed and stuff like that. But I've got to agree with Traps. Robert Lewandowski, he's got the agility to go past your defense. So yeah, look, I think Robert Lewandowski because obviously he's great in the Champions League as well. Scored loads of times in the Champions League. So I think he'll keep that record going. I think he could get a goal or two. So yeah, I'd say Robert Lewandowski.
Hardy, is Dembele gonna miss the 2 legs or is just one leg that he's missing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been reported across Spanish media he's so likely to actually miss both legs. I think with Busquets, it's hardly the same situation regarding Busquets, and I think those 2 players are really pivotal to how Xavi wants to play. And without those players, I think we've got a really good chance of winning it. Even though De Jong's in
like
there.
the next Arteta, man. The next the way he does his hair and stuff, flipping out, man.
It's true. It's really true.
But, Hardy, what do you think? What do you think is the best for Barcelona? What do you think is the best? I think.
You know what? I think the most important player in their system has to be De Jong for me. De Jong. I think De Jong is just a fantastic midfielder. I mean, as a reducer, he controls tempo and intensity in midfield. So if we isolate De Jong, we'll definitely get the game won. So I think with Robert Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, even like some Rafinha, Gavi, Pedri, Kessie, as you mentioned, they've got an excellent solid foundation. They've got exceptional talent. They've got exceptional experience. And even though that they're in the Europa League, they're going to be a huge test for us.
Thing is, I'd still go for Frank de Jong this summer, man. Maybe he might have changed his mind, but Travis's face, what man? Is either him or I don't know, because obviously with the Qatari Hardy, we're gonna get Qatari orders very soon, so
Hopefully.
they're gonna be spending a lot on the tunnel. But either him or I don't know, because Bellingham apparently still wants to go to Liverpool, which I don't know why.
It's not gonna happen. It's unlikely. Very unlikely.
So Frank de Jong, I don't know, man.
Apparently, his dad's a Liverpool fan or something.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I read
Frank
something.
de Jong,
Like that.
I don't think he'll go to Liverpool. I think, Man United or like someone like maybe Real Madrid. No, not Real Madrid. I'm joking. Yeah,
It's
I think Man
possibility. I
United.
think it's possibility with Madrid.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but whether if he shows his respect to Barcelona, I didn't quite think that through before I said it really. But yeah, I think he'll go Man United or something like that. So yeah, I reckon. What fee
What
would you
about
say
Arsenal?
though? Nah, I don't think he would.
Arsenal. Man, they got Jorginho's fine. Fee, I think they're gonna ask 90 million, 90 something million. But they
I'm in Euros still.
Yeah.
I
Obviously
think they go like 100.
John Murto effed up the deal last summer, so it is what it is.
How can you blame that on John Moto?
Because he literally flew to Spain.
So what? He flew to Spain. What do you think he flew to Spain to tell? Do you think he flew to Spain and said, "Frankie de Jong, don't come"?
Nah, he flew. What is it? Was it him? Him and Richard Arnold. They both flew to Spain, apparently to negotiate with Barcelona, and they just didn't agree to a deal. But I don't know.
They did. They agreed. They agreed to deal with Barcelona as the club. But I just feel like Frankie de Jong just dug his heels in and said, "Look, I'm not going nowhere. I want my money, and yeah, I don't even want to leave, to be honest with you." And then obviously, as time goes on, things change and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Frankie de Jong, you don't want to play for United, and yeah, good luck with your career and that. But I don't ever want to see him in a Man United shirt. If I'm going to be honest with you.
Big up, Toby. Just tuning in right now. We're just discussing about Barcelona United.
Because think about it, right? Think about this. How see when he say he signs for United, right? What's he gonna say? I've always wanted to play for this club. This is a great club. Like you can't give it none of that because the last season he didn't want to come in. So I don't
Blame him,
think.
to be honest.
And the worst thing and the worst thing is that if he comes in, he doesn't play well. Fans are just gonna get on his back immediately.
Yeah, 100%. Toby, it's good to see. We're just discussing Barcelona United. What's your feeling for tomorrow, Toby? Are you confident? You nervous?
Yeah, of course. The confidence is based on our recent form. Manchester United have actually been playing very well of late. We are actually in form at the moment, and you look at the momentum and the team spirit. Of course, there are positives, a lot of things to look out for. We know quite all right that Barcelona will definitely be a very difficult team to beat, considering their form. I think they've only lost one game, and you look at the form of Lewandowski, Lewandowski being their main man, he has been scoring goals, banging goals. I think he's on 14 goals this season, and he has about 5 assists. Then you look at Rafinha, Rafinha has about four assists. So you look at a couple of their players, they're actually good and they're actually ones we cannot overlook because they will definitely haunt us. Spanish football is quite different from the Premier League football, in terms of technicality and a lot of that. The Premier League, we all know is physical, but when it comes to being technical and, you just look beyond being physical. Of course, the Spanish league can haunt us. But coming down to Manchester United with the form, with the kind of results we've been getting of late, and the form of our players, you don't just talk about Marcus Rashford alone. We have some couple of players on the bench who can come in and make a difference, which Ten Hag has actually tried to do in the team. We've seen Garnacho, for instance, who comes in and he decides games. So it's going to be a very exciting match for both clubs. But at the same time, there's a little worry. Obviously, we have some players who are absent based on suspension. You look at Martinez and you look at Sabitzer. So, well, but I feel they will be missed actually, but it may not really be as we expected because we've seen Luke Shaw play as a left centre back. He has actually been formidable. He has been able to show us or show Manchester United fans and the manager that he's capable of soaking up pressure and playing as a left centre back, obviously. And of course, Casemiro, who was suspended um, during that Crystal Palace game we had, he'll be back in the team. And of course, we all know what Casemiro does when he's in the team. The experience also, the experience he has in terms of playing with the La Liga champions, in my opinion, Barcelona. Of course, he'll bring in experience, a little bit of experience in the middle of the park. And of course, there's Rafael Varane too, who also has experience. So we have some couple of players that the experience will be pivotal in the match tomorrow. It's not going to be an easy game. Trust me. Playing at the Camp Nou or the new camp, it's definitely not going to be easy, but I feel we should be able to match Barcelona in terms of strength to strength and form to form. We can match them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Toby, I've actually got a question for you. Who do you think Barcelona's best player is?
Well, at the moment, I think it's Lewandowski. Lewandowski is the best player for Barcelona, of course. He has scored goals, 14 goals. I said it before. His contribution this season for the Spanish La Liga, I think, is 19 goal contribution, 14 goals, 5 assists. Obviously, take away those goals and assists, we all know what Barcelona will become of Barcelona without Lewandowski. Obviously, he's their best player so far.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go through the comments before I get to the next topic. Munzi Sports Capital says, big up lads, big up man, or big up Sports Capital. He says, in subject to this, basically, yesterday I came onto his channel because he invited me on. I said, he asked me for my score prediction. I said 3-1 United. So, yeah. Listen, I'm obviously we'll get to score lines soon, but yeah, listen, Ten Hag's tricky Reds, man. Ten Hag's tricky Reds. Hashem, big up to you, man. Just came from work. Big up to you, Hashem, man. Make sure you guys are smashing those likes, subscribe, go check out Toby's channel and Flair's channel as well, AFC Talk Show TV. But yeah, Hashem says, come on, you boss. Listen, mate. None of that, mate. None of that. Xavi, I told you, Xavi's the next Arteta 2.0, man. Same hair, lights hair going up. And yeah, man, we'll see what happens tomorrow. The next topic is interesting. Do United have enough to go for 4 trophies? Hardy, get on to you. Can we win the quadruple?
Well, never say never, but I think if we have a proper squad depth, absolutely. But I think if we have more continuous situations such as injuries, suspensions, even with fatigue as well, overwhelming the squad, I think we won't have a chance to win the quadruple. So I think with our investment, it's very limited in certain areas around the squad. And with Ten Hag, he's actually performing tactically out of our expectations. And right now, we're on a great trajectory. And if we had Pochettino, you wouldn't say otherwise that we would be in this position. We wouldn't, in my opinion. And Erik Ten Hag is such an elite coach, fantastic tactician. And if we support him with the right players, I think with the possibility of winning the quadruple, it could be achieved.
100%, man, 100%. Rocco, big up to you, man. Says Juventus better than Man. Listen, mate, we'll save it until when we face Europa League soon. But big up to you, mate. Toby, can we win the quadruple? I know it's a big achievement, but can we win it?
I think in reality, to be fair, like I don't think so because at one point in time, I think we'll get hit by fatigue and a lot of things. Hadip made mention of the bench, the squad depth, which we don't really have. But Ten Hag is making do. Is bringing out something from what we have at the moment. The fixtures will keep coming in fast, as we know. Fatigue is a very, 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 very important factor to note, as well as injury. Injury, suspensions, and I think it can actually affect our progression in, of course, in winning even though it's going to be a treble, but trust me, it's in reality on paper. I don't think it's possible actually, but we'll definitely go out to to give in our best. Obviously, the FA Cup, we have the possibility of winning the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. My major concern and worry is just the Europa League. Obviously, we all know we can't. Expectations for the Premier League is not. We know we can't win the Premier League this season, but the Europa League, there's a big question mark. There's a big question mark. If we get to the semi-final or to the quarter-final, it's still something. But the realistic trophy, in my opinion, I think Manchester United can get. I think is the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup.
We've also got Donny van der Beek with us. Hi there, Frederick.
Hello.
You alright, Frederick?
Yeah, a bit tired after a long training, but all good.
That's fine. No worries. But yeah, obviously you might be a bit shocked about what topic this is, but we're going to soon. But Flair, do you think United can go for 4 trophies?
Can they yet? No, I don't, I think Carabao Cup, it's in a bag for them. They've got it clean on a silver platter for them, really. But 4 trophies. I mean, seriously, I don't think they've got enough quality for that. The debate whether Arsenal will is a question, but I don't think that they will go for 4 trophies. As I said, they don't have enough quality. People putting trust in Eric Ten Hag. I think he's trustworthy, but whether to get 4 trophies in his first season as the Man United manager, I think is a bit far. No.
Fair enough. But Frederick, before we get on to that quadruple thing, you nervous, Barcelona? How you feeling? You nervous, confident, mixed emotions?
Bit nervous about Martinez not being able to play. We saw the last game against Leeds, how we were defensively before he came in and after he came in. I do think he's the best defender in the league, in my opinion, and we will miss him. I do think Barcelona will score. I do think we will need to play Maguire.
Oh.
Listen, he lost all his aerial duels against Tony, mate.
Saliba's the best in the league, not Martinez.
I mean,
fair enough. That's quite debatable. Very debatable. But Martinez is consistent. It's been much more consistent though. It's been absolutely excellent this season. So.
All these better than Saliba, man. I'm telling you. Frederick, can we go for the? I just think quadruple. I mean, yeah, with the squad depth, I don't think so. But Frederick, can we do it?
No, I don't think so. I think our squad is too less depth. You see it without Casemiro, we're a much worse team. I think Casemiro will miss more games, probably other players as well, and then we will struggle. And I do think Man City will take the lead. I've said it since before Christmas. I do think we will see Arsenal losing points. They have started now. I can see them lose more points. And Man City see their squad. They have Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Riyad Mahrez, Rodri. That's the best team in the league. We must be honest and say that. I would be happy if we take 1 trophy and get top 4, and I do think that's reachable. I think we will take the Carabao Cup and get the 3rd place.
100%. Hashim, I did see this by the way, but Hashim says here, Barcelona could be relegated if found guilty of allegations made against them. So obviously, what he's talking about, apparently they paid the executive referees. So I don't know
Was it in 2017 thereabouts? 20,
I think it was 2016 to 2018, I think. So, yeah, man. Apparently they pay the ref. So listen, there's a lot of madness going on. Obviously, City now Barcelona. So a lot of
Juventus as well.
Yeah, 100%. But we'll see what happens with Barcelona, man. That will probably take another 4 years, because if City, if they're saying that they're gonna take 4 years for City, then Barca's probably gonna take longer than that. So yeah, man. Obviously, Joe says, why are you discussing quadruple no Prem team? Listen, Ten Hag says an era comes to an end. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. But obviously, I'm not saying we're going to win the quadruple anyways. But yeah, too much, bit too much for United. Next topic: what are Barcelona's weaknesses? Start off with.
Me.
Starting off for me, I'd say maybe Valverde in the left position. I think he could certainly be the weakness, although he's very explosive in that transition. So if we can isolate him on the left hand side, we could certainly get a really good join that type of side, and then we get that momentum. Certainly create a lot of intensity in our possession. So if we continually overload that side, we can get really great consistency there. So I think additionally, maybe Christensen if he does start, Orejo maybe if he starts right back instead of centre back. Kunde, fantastic player, wants him at United as well. Great versatile defender as well. There can certainly be weakness there as well. I think within the midfield with De Jong being potentially the DM, with no Frank Kessie in there too, that could be a huge risk. I think with likes of Rafinha, even with Ferran Torres as well, I think they could have some substantial risks. Lewandowski, I mean, his main threat is goal scoring, his aerial ability, his agility in around the blocks, his work rate off ball. I think if we isolate those key areas, we can win the game.
100%. Toby, what do you think Barcelona's weaknesses are?
Toby can stop responding.
Sorry, right? Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. To me, I actually think it depends on, will I say, consistency in the team. Of course, they're work in progress. You look at the generality of the Barcelona team; they are kind of similar to Manchester United in terms of rebuild, progression, and trying to find their rhythm as a club. So I think check their players, the squad. They have a couple of young lads. They have a couple of players who don't really have much experience, but they've been kind of dominant of improving themselves in the league. But the huge test will be, in the European stage to see how they will be able to follow up. So I think their weaknesses may be collective, in my opinion, it may be a collective weakness in that how will they be able to manage or to manage the international stage, if you know what I mean. So let's see how it goes, in my opinion, because of course they are number one in La Liga right now. I think they're leading second place with about 11 points. So if it would be logical enough to say they may not really have, as much weaknesses as one may say, but like that's why I said it has to do with a collective thing as a club, from Ter Stegen down to Lewandowski, obviously. So we know Barcelona. Xavi came into a will I say a disjointed Barcelona team. He's doing wonders actually, because they're actually top in La Liga. But the real test is gonna be tomorrow against Manchester United. So let's see how the younger lads and the other lads that have experience in the team, how they will be able to, to cope with the resurgent Manchester United side. So that's what I think. So let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Absolutely, I agree. So yes, Frederick, let's move on to you. So do Barcelona have any weaknesses?
I do think one thing that are undertalked is they play in a much weaker league than the Premier League. The teams they are playing does not have that level. Yeah, they can be at that level, but we are used to playing better teams. The teams who have been playing recently, even the Leeds are way better than the third, fourth place in La Liga. They are not used to play this tempo that we come with from the Premier League. So I do think, can they adapt this fast to playing a team from the Premier League?
That's going to be the question. I mean, if you look at our record with Spanish teams over the years, it's been exceptionally poor, especially with Barcelona in the Champions League, and Villarreal too in the Europa League. Remember that poor performance. We don't want to talk about that. That's in the past. But Traps, let's move on to you. So, do Barcelona have any weaknesses? What are their weaknesses specifically?
I mean, boss. Like I said, I agree, man. That but the only thing is that Barcelona are not used to playing a team of our caliber, because like I forgot the name, man. But like my man here said, he said that yeah, I mean they're not used to the caliber of team, and that's the only thing I can say. Like I said, that's when players like Lewandowski, who's experienced, played at all types of levels, will come into play, because that kind of persons, that kind of players, that's the player that will rise to the occasion. But I mean, like I said, our counter attack's devastated. I feel like if we hit them on the break, we could get some joy out of that, man. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I feel like Barcelona may underestimate us, because, like you said, they are flying in the league, and yeah, that could work to our advantage.
Absolutely agree. So yes, Flair, how about yourself? What are Barcelona's weaknesses?
Yeah, as I said at the start, they've got a good squad, but I think part of their weakness is it could be their defense. They're not consistent enough, and I think bit of echo. I think their defense. I don't think that they're consistent enough, and they concede too many goals. So I think keeping up with Rashford, etc., and stuff like that, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, I think their defense.
So going to get the Arsenal lineup. Ramsdale.
I know it's a joke.
Gabriel.
He's travelled with the squad.
Zinchenko, Jorginho, and Xhaka in midfield.
Where's Ben White?
He's been benched. He's on the bench. Partey is not on the sub.
Is Martinelli starting?
Yeah.
Oh,
Partey.
I want to trust him at the start.
Partey is not on the sub as it stands. So, yeah, man. Traps is smiling. Jorginho and Xhaka. I will get the City lineup, but obviously, Hardy, you came to me about this one. I just think the fullbacks. We can easily target the fullbacks, but we'll get to lineup. But for my wingers, I'll play Rashford and Sancho, both of them together. Obviously, Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right. Rashford can target. Who's their right back? Sergio Roberto.
Is it Alejo or maybe Kunde?
Or if it's Kunde right back, then we can. To be fair, I don't know if Kunde, because I think he's been playing centre back recently. I don't know, but Kunde, we'll see what he does. Lineup. I mean, it should be standard and easy. For me, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka for me starts. Luke Shaw.
Not Dello.
No.
No.
No Dello. Yeah, chat's in it. No Dello.
What do you mean?
For starting, no Dello.
No, I wouldn't start Dello. I don't think he's ready to come back yet.
Yeah. And then left back, Malacia. I think Malacia will definitely start. Flair, do you want to shout your socials before you go?
Yeah, AFC.extras on Instagram. Got a new account now. And AFC Talk Show TV on YouTube and Instagram, so you can come and check that out. Big up everyone, thanks for having me on.
Big up for joining, man.
Big up,
mate.
See ya. Peace.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Malacia, and then probably what Casemiro and Fred, then Sancho, Bruno, Rashford, and my boy Weghorst.
Interesting lineup. So yes, Traps, how about yourself? What would you like to be?
I mean, you know what? I'd probably do something different here. I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably do something because towards the end, that Weghorst in the 10 worked pretty well. To be fair, it did work very well. So I'd probably start with Weghorst in the 10. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go with I'd put Bruno on the right, Rashford through the middle, and Sancho on the left. That's what I'd do. If that doesn't work, I'd rotate it. And
Where you say on the right? Who you say on the right?
I'd put Bruno on the right.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
obviously, Fred Casemiro, we don't have much choice. Back for Wan-Bissaka, last ditch tackles. You know how we're gonna need those. Varane, Shaw, and Malacia. Obviously, De Gea in goal. But yeah, I mean, that's how I would keep it. I mean, I'd try something different because I mean, you don't want to try and show your hand too early, but if it does fail, you've got options. You know what I mean? You could maybe take you could put Bruno back in the 10, Weghorst back up the top. You could put Rashford on the left. Essentially, you could take Weghorst off, leave Rashford on, and put Garnacho on the left. So yeah, I mean, give them something to figure out. Do you know what I mean?
It's very true. It's very true. Frederick, how about yourself? What would you like to be?
In goal, of course, De Gea. I don't think anyone would want to see Butland there. In defense, I would have gone Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw on the backs. I would actually have played Maguire beside Varane, just because we're playing Lewandowski in the air. Harry Maguire, best guy to take him out.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
He can take the headers against Lewandowski, and Varane can take the pace. He got some pace as well. Werman forget the pace of Varane, but it's actually quite fast. So I think that can work in this game. At midfield, as mentioned before, we don't have much choice. That's Fred and Casemiro. Attacking wise, I just want to see us being don't try too much. So just start as against Leeds with Sancho, Rashford, and Weghorst, and of course Bruno.
Good lineup, really good lineup. So it's Toby. What would your lineup be?
It's going to be similar to the Leeds game. Of course, David De Gea in goal, but instead of having Diego Dallo, I think it would be best to have Wan-Bissaka. Dallo he showed in the last game that he's still sloppy. He hasn't found his rhythm yet, so Wan-Bissaka should be good. And of course, the right centre back, I would love to have Varane and Luke Shaw, because this is Barcelona, and Harry Maguire, of course, I don't think he's ready to to play against Barcelona or to start, if you get what I mean, because he was sloppier against Leeds. He was so lucky. He was fortunate enough to to cover or to to right his wrongs. Maguire wrote his wrongs, if you know what I mean. There were some loose balls, wrong passes, but he was able to get it back. So I think Maguire, he gets pressured when he kind of plays. I don't know. I don't know the right word to use, but Maguire gets pressured, and obviously the game against Barcelona will not be the kind of match where Erik ten Hag will want to take a huge gamble. He could come on in the second half, quite all right. But I think it's definitely going to be Rafael Varane and Luke Shaw. Then Tyra Malacia will play as the left back. Then in the middle of the pack, we'll have Fred. He has been very, very, very impressive of late. Then Casemiro coming back into the team. Then on the right wing, we'll have Jadon Sancho. I think this is the moment his expertise will be needed, and of course, he should get the coach's blessing to start on the right, then Rashford on the left, then Weghorst as the number 9, and of course, Bruno plays as the 10. Then depends on the rhythm, depends on the game plan, depends on the gameplay. We could see changes in the second half. We could see Garnacho coming in for maybe Weghorst. Then Rashford goes to play as a 9. Garnacho moves to the left. Then we could see maybe Elanga coming in too. Maybe it depends on the game actually. So I think it's definitely going to be similar to the Leeds game, just having Diego Dallo off. Then Fred coming in for the suspended Sabitzer. No, Casemiro coming in for the suspended Sabitzer. Fred out. Then Sancho on the right, Marcus on the left. Then we have Weghorst. Of course, he's a big game player, if you know what I mean. He knows, he has a lot of experience playing on the big stage. Hopefully, he should be able to play well and to score goals. And I think one thing we need what Ten Hag needs to address I've watched Weghorst play, and I think the other lads, they don't like giving him the ball. Like they don't like passing the ball to him to score or to just shoot. There was a game against, was it Leeds? The first leg we played against Leeds. I think when Weghorst left the pitch, I think Sancho came in for. I think Sancho came in. Rashford went to play as a 9. It wasn't up to 2 seconds. The ball got that cross from, I don't know who made that cross to Marcus Rashford, and Rashford scored the goal. Like a series of times, I've seen opportunities like that. Weghorst needs, he presses, of course. He does the pressing and all. He brings in opponents to his side. He draws attention, but of course, he needs support. He needs passes. So Bruno, Luke Shaw, Marcos, whoever you are, just give him that. Try to feed him. Of course, he has shown how deadly he can be in terms of being a target man. So let's see how it goes. So it's going to be 4-2-3-1, obviously. So we can see switches in game as well.
100%. I've got a question because I don't like what I've been seeing on Twitter and YouTube in general, but is the Europa League a free hit? Because what I'm seeing from if I say, oh, but if we get knocked out, it's fine, but no, it's not fine if we get knocked out, because Europa League, we need to take it seriously, man. Like fans, Europa League, we should take every cup competition seriously. Like, why should we take any competition a free hit? But do you think we should take this Europa League as a free hit, as United fans say?
No chance. It's definitely a trophy to win, because if you look at the context of the Europa League is full of the last 32 teams now, and if we want to seriously progress and potentially win it, we've got to be consistent. With this free hit, propaganda nonsense. From our fans, it's just absolutely ridiculous, really. And why would you want to get out of the Europa League just to focus on top 4? We haven't been competitive. If you want to win, you've got to compete for the highest level. Simple as that.
Traps, is Europa League a free hit for you?
I mean, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, like, it's always about the fashion how you lose games. If you go out and you're genuinely giving your best, but the team is better than you, then fair enough. I'm not really bothered about the Europa League, like I said. But the thing is, right, is we've played every game available to us from the start of the season up until now. So there is a lot of games coming. We still got, I think there's about 4 or 5 left in the FA Cup should we get there. We've got 1 in the Carabao Cup. We've got 15 in the league. And then there's going to be maybe another 6 or 7 or 8 in the Europa League. So there's a lot of games to be played. I don't think it's a free hit because, like I said, I explained the whole situation with the whole competitiveness. I mean, a lot of fans would say Arsenal, Man City, all these teams are ahead of you. But I don't think they are, because in order for you to compete, you should be able to compete on all fronts, not just compete in the league or compete for one trophy. You should be able to compete in every. And I just think that the problem that Manchester United have at the minute, they don't have the squad depth in order to compete in this. But I feel like that in the summer with the takeover, that will them problems will be addressed. But I don't think it is a free hit. I feel like if we overcome Barcelona, I think we automatically become favourites to win the tournament. So I don't think Ten Hag's going to think it's a free hit. I don't think Ten Hag's going to go out there and think he's. One thing about Ten Hag and what he's trying to install is something that, so like when I was young was the Man United way, and it was like you don't disrespect no tournament. You don't disrespect a trophy. You go out there and you try to win it. I mean, yeah, all right, cool. You could say at times we disrespected the FA Cup, but obviously Ferguson always said that his bread and butter was the league. Yeah, so him winning the league 13 times is testament to what he was doing. You could say, I mean, there was a time when the fans wanted Ferguson out. The press was on his back because he wasn't winning leagues, and he had a bit of a transitional moment. And his run started with winning the League Cup with Ronaldo and the likes of Rooney, and he benched Van Nistelrooy for the final and whatnot. But yeah, I just think that there's no, especially at this point, because like like I said, Ferguson started with a League Cup, and that run that team that he built was probably the best team the Premier League's ever seen. So for me, I wouldn't say any club, any cup at this present moment in time should be disrespected or a free hit. If we can win it, let's win it.
100%, man. Facts. We've got a comment from Waleed. Big up to you, mate. Says, yes, lads, big up. Hope you all had a good Valentine's Day. I'm sure everyone did, man. I'm sure everyone did. Especially the man himself, RD.
Well, I haven't had a date, fortunately. But if there's someone single out there, let me give you some advice. If you want to find a suitable girl, you gotta DM me. You know what? One advice: there isn't a lot of girls in the sea. Well, also known as fish in the sea.
I'm sure Frederick can help you out with some Norwegian girls, man. But he says, and hope you're ready to see an Arsenal masterclass in it and a Chelsea battering. Okay. Well, he says Jorginho masterclass incoming.
Waleed's not confident. I can tell you that now for free. Right? He's just doing this for the sake of it. But don't write Arsenal off. However, expect Saka to get back into Nathan Ake's pocket again for the second time in the space of 2 weeks.
I've seen today on Arsenal, like Arsenal fans were saying, we've lost because we don't party. But then when Casemiro got that yellow card, they say, no, but you can't blame Casemiro. You're not one man team. So I just don't know what's going on there. I really don't. But Frederick, what was the question I asked? Oh yeah, is the Europa League a free hit? Do we have to take this seriously, or if we lose, doesn't matter?
I mean, if you'd asked me before Christmas, I would have said it's very important because it's our best chance for a top four. Of course, right now our best chance for the Champions League is the top four, but with the draw that we got a big game, maybe one of the biggest games of the season. This could have been the Champions League final, to be honest. And if we win this 2 games, we will be favorites in the tournament. So no, I wouldn't take it as a free hit. I would have prioritized the Premier League, of course, then second the Carabao Cup, actually, just because we're in the final. I want to see us win a trophy. Then the Europa League, and last the FA Cup. For me now, if we go through here, then I would have said, don't bother for the FA Cup. That can be our free hits.
That's very true, very true. Toby, how about yourself? Do you think the Europa League is a free hit?
No, I don't think so. It's not a free hit because, we listen to Erik ten Hag's conferences and, of course, his actions in terms of team selection. So he has shown us that it's not a free hit. We've seen in the Carabao Cups, the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, he has fielded, let's say, a strong team, in these competitions. So I don't think it's a free hit. The mentality to these lads, we have to go in a strong foot. Then Hag keeps saying that we have to win every game. We have to be in every competition. It's football. We have to show the world that we're capable of being in all fronts. So I don't think it's a free hit. The mentality to these lads, of course, that's what has kept us, going till this very point in time, because we are taking every game seriously, regardless. I think towards the early days when Ten Hag was the manager of the club, and they asked him if he sees friendly as an important game, a friendly match, and he said, of course, he sees it as an important game. He doesn't like friendlies or friendly matches because he takes every game seriously, and that is the mentality. Once Manchester United players understand that they don't have to prioritize a particular league over the other, then I think that mentality flows. You keep winning games, which obviously it's not possible to win every game, but at least you go out with your you go out with a strong foot. Go out with your best teams to play. Our strong team has taken us this far, has taken us to the Carabao Cup final. Previous seasons, obviously, we may not take this cup seriously, but Ten Hag is bringing in a mentality. We are at the FA Cup. We have gotten this far. Why? Because it's not a free hit. The manager is taking it very seriously. You understand? So it's the mentality. It's all about the passion and resetting the mindset of the players and of course the fans. We have to know that we have to go into every games, every league with the mentality of winning and getting points. So it's not a free hit because once the players know that it is a free hit or this league is not as important as it's supposed to be, then of course we'll start seeing signs or glimpses of mediocrity and whatnot. So it's not a free hit.
100%, man. 100%.
You know, it's true because it's true as well because it's like if you think about it, you win the Europa League next season. Obviously, when you go and you've signed your players and whatnot, the first thing you've got to play is the Super Cup if you win it. So it's another trophy, and it just starts to breed that whole trophy winning mentality. But one thing I will love, if we beat Barcelona, I would love to get Arsenal, in the quarters or the semis. Because I don't want to play them in the final. I don't want to play them in the final. I want to knock them out, completely knock them out over two legs, home and away, full strength teams. Yeah, Casemiro's in, Partey in, Jesus in, everyone's in. Yeah, 2 legs. Who's better? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to.
The thing is, Chaps, Arsenal fans would say, well, we need to focus on the league because we're top of the leagues. Yeah, that's what Arsenal would say.
What'd you say? Sorry?
I said Arsenal fans would use the Premier League as an excuse. So they would say, if they do get knocked out of the Europa League, they will say, well, don't worry, we have the Premier League to focus on. Because that's the same excuse they said when they got knocked out.
Well, not really, because if they lose tonight, they go second. They're not top no more.
Yeah.
That's very true. I mean, the thing is with City as well, I mean, despite having a consistent run, they're certainly going to get a result tonight. With Arsenal, they're depleted midfield. I think they won't get a chance to win the game.
So I want to say something else. What league did City eliminate Arsenal? Was it the Carabao or the FA Cup?
The FA Cup, was it the 4th round?
FA Cup, yeah.
Okay, the FA Cup. So when you talk about prioritizing league, when you talk about seeing a league as a free hit, it comes with the dire consequences. Of course, we saw what Arteta did. You know, he underestimated City, he underestimated the league. He didn't put in his strong 11, you know, his best team. And of course, City whipped them and, you know, took them out of the competition. So once you underestimate a league, it costs you. And the mentality of the players, it starts to affect them. And of course, see what is happening with the Arsenal team right now. They've gone like 3 games without a win. So I think it can affect the player or it can affect the team in terms of progression moving forward. And that has helped City. That's why Man City has always been dominant in almost all fronts. In the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, you know, the Premier League, the Champions League. Because once you see, I understand they have a good squad depth, but Pep, obviously, you know, he wouldn't want to inculcate in his team or in his players the mentality of being lackluster, if you know what I mean. It's all about winning the team, winning every league and being the best teams in the world. So that's just it. You don't have to underestimate any league.
100%, man. 100%.
Just as well. I mean, don't write Arsenal off tonight. Don't write them off.
Yeah, true.
Because I mean, it obviously the odds are. I mean, the thing is, they haven't. I think it's in their last 8. They haven't beat City in their last 8 or something like that, or 10 even.
Yeah,
they're due a win. So I mean, don't write them off. Hopefully, obviously, I'm leaning towards. Obviously, I believe City will win, but a draw could be on the cards. But don't write Arsenal off because they're at home at the end of the day. They haven't lost at home for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a 50-50. If I'm going to be totally honest with you, yeah, right, cool, they got Partey out, but City are not at their best. It's a bit of a 50-50.
Yeah, it's a weird game. But it's going to be very
true.
Us for United fans, we're hoping for a draw. Because that'll be very good for us. A draw.
Or win probably. Or win probably. A win, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes, Frederick, let's start with you. What's the scoreline? What's your prediction for Man United versus Barcelona?
Tomorrow, I think Barcelona will win 2-1 and we will take them at Old Trafford.
Good point. Good point. So, Traps, how about yourself?
I mean, I think United always score. So I think it could be 1-0, 1-1.
No, good. That would be very good. So, Toby, how about yourself? What's your prediction for tomorrow?
Trust me, it's tough. It's gonna be a tough game. No, we can't travel all down to Camp Nou without getting a point. Of course, so I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win to Manchester United. 2-1. 2-1.
Positive response. Or rest, how about yourself?
I'm saying 3-1. 3-1 United.
Wow.
Good scoreline. Actually, I'm actually going to go for 1-1 draw.
Man. You know what?
I mean, I have a
It'd be
feeling that
nice,
this game result.
The draw would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. You know, I mean, considering
There's no
our,
way. There's no way.
No way
So,
going, by the way.
so
Yeah.
it's as long as we beat them at home.
Apparently,
Then we're
Barcelona are better away than home. That's what I've been seeing from Barcelona fans. Apparently, they're better away. So,
that's gonna be
who
tough.
knows? Who knows? But Frederick, you already said yours. But yeah, man, obviously, that's the last topic. Hopefully, we do get some for tomorrow. And yeah, man, it's good to see Casemiro. Honestly, guys, it's good to see Casemiro back in the lineup, man. Honestly, we missed him so much.
No.
But yeah, bring on Xavi. You absolutely bring on Xavi. Bring on everyone, man. Bring on Frankie De Jong, the best midfielder in the world. So listen, let's get people. I'm joking, man. We all know he's the best midfielder in the world. He plays for Manchester United, the Brazilian, Casemiro. So Hardy, do you want to share your socials for me?
Well, guys, you know where it's for me. It'll be HDM United Stand on Instagram. If you follow me personally there, it's HSFL7. Also, pick up some of my social media on Twitter as well. So if you want to follow me there, it'll all be located. So it's #MUFC.
Big up, Hardy. Traps, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Chats Booming on Instagram. You can find me Chats Booming on TikTok. You can find me Chats Talks on Twitter, but I'm kind of new to that. I don't really know how to work that yet. You can find me on JSJ TV on YouTube. Yeah, you can find me probably trolling Waleed in about an hour and a half or two.
We'll see. Frederick, where can we find you? Big up for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You can find me on the Red Frederick on almost every social media except from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm there. YouTube, of course. Twitter, yeah.
Big up, Frederick. And last but not least, Toby, where can we find you?
Yeah, _MEFC Global on Instagram, and of course my personal Instagram account, Toby TOBMIKY. So that's where you can find me.
Big up Toby for joining. Everyone, big up the panel that joined. Hardy, Toby, Frederick, Traps, and others, Flair as well. So big up you guys. Let's hope United gets something for tomorrow. We need to get a good positive result. Anything can happen, but listen, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. But last, before I play the outro, obviously, and errors come to an end. But yeah, man, big up everyone. Make sure you guys do follow Van the Beach on Instagram, as he is still recovering. Obviously, he'll be out this season, unfortunately.
Tommy, question: are you leaving at the end of the season?
You know what?
Tommy Van der Beek, Frederick. So, will you be leaving at the end of the season?
No, I'll stay. I'll convince my mate Frankie De Jong to come, and that we'll have a good time together.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, smash the likes, and we are out.